Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Life Pot. Today we have on social media influencer slash model, Sammy fucking P. I told you I'd say. How you going?
I'm really good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Love the intro.
Thanks, heaps. How are we going? You good? Ah, cool. Awesome. Pretty special episode today away from home in Sammy's, I guess, we'll call it Sammy's studio.
I like that. We'll call it that.
We'll call it Sammy's studio. Thank you so much for having us. It's a pleasure. I'll wait for old mate to, how are we going? Good?
Just needs to work his way over.
You've been the most useless person ever. Don't start putting it on me.
You guys are cracker.
Sweating and shit, bro. All over.
It's good to have fun though and laugh, isn't it?
I asked if you wanted the aircon on or what.
I wasn't expecting to do all the work, but you know.
I told you I'm not good with tripods. Guys, thank you for tuning in for another episode. Sammy,
Yes.
let's
Bro,
first-
literally, my mic is literally not working.
it's working.
It's
What do you
definitely
mean?
working. I
It's
can
definitely
hear it.
working.
Bro, it's not.
It
It
is.
is. Maybe your volume's down. So I can hear
It's
you.
your headphone volume. I can hear you too.
Oh, we're back.
All right.
No, not. Because, what the fuck have you done right there? Oh, we got it. Michael sucks. We're moving forward.
Sammy, we don't usually have this issue. We
Are you
usually-
sure?
100%. The audience will
Okay.
know. Guys,
Good
When
morning,
it comes to sleep
Australia.
at night.
All right.
maybe it's Sammy's studio. Who knows?
Maybe it's you, bro. We're
First time the studio's being worked, so.
No.
Sammy and I have been fine.
Great.
Literally.
Great.
I went to the
Lovely.
car park. She went to the bathroom. Bro.
I
You
set
had
up I set up the stands.
And how did it go, bro? Look, it's all mangled.
Sammy poured the water.
Alrighty.
I didn't charge the laptop.
You did good. You did good.
So, for those who don't know who Sammy fucking P is, who's Sammy P?
Sammy fucking P. So I'm a social media influencer and model from Melbourne. And
Born and raised.
Pardon? Melbourne born and raised, yes. Greek Cypriot and Australian gal. And yeah, a bit of a vibe. So
So, how old are you, Sammy, now? If you
I'm
don't-
26. I'm literally 27 like next week.
You're kidding.
What are you doing for your birthday? What's plans?
Haven't made plans yet, but I kind of just want to get a few friends around. We're going to do something.
Kickback, podcast, this, that.
Podcast wasn't in it, but
We just come, have prees, and just sit around the table and talk some shit.
yeah. Well, I mean, like, prees can happen in the studio. So
That's
here
it.
we are.
You can have two friends.
Two friends.
There's a-
No, we have three. There's seats there, and then there's
Oh,
always seats there too.
perfect.
It's a little fridge bar there too for the drinks and stuff.
Absolutely.
That's pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, firstly, I guess probably for anyone who doesn't know who you are, obviously your social media just said it. How did you get into it all?
My social media, so I've always had Instagram.
Yep.
And then I did my first photo shoot for pretty much, it was a car company. So they did wrapped car like designs.
What was the name of the company?
Wrapped as customs or something like that. It was many years ago now. But did my first photo shoot with that, so I had professional photos. So then I started posting them on my social media. And then the ball kind of started rolling as soon as that first photo shoot kind of happened. And then it reached out to another car brand to kind of reach out and do another photo shoot, and then kind of like activewear. So it was kind of like a domino effect from there. And from that domino effect, my page started growing and started getting other opportunities. So it's just been on go.
It's crazy how that happens, isn't it?
It's been
One
incredible.
thing leads to another.
Oh, absolutely. It's all about opportunity. So
I
it's
think
amazing.
it's something that one of our previous guests said, Jesse Amani, is like action breed action.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you never did that first one, it's like it would have been so much harder to sort of get the ball rolling, get yourself out there. Sometimes you just have to sort of take the leap, and it's like, if it flops, it flops. But 9 times out of 10, if you sort of hit it hard enough, you actually end up getting more opportunities. Like one door closes and then many more open.
Literally.
Was it your intention at all to
Like
I
an
guess,
influencer, like,
be an influencer from
or
the
it's sort of
get-go?
just like you turned into one. Like it sort of just happened.
Literally that. So this is the first year that I've actually taken this like seriously and like actually just quit any job that I actually have to physically be at and just take this as a proper job. So it's super exciting, but it's also super crazy because it's like
daunting.
I can actually just do a job that I've created for myself. Like I don't actually need a resume for this. Yeah. Like it's just, I've just created this space and this community, I guess, that's just allowed it to have this, I don't know, effect that I can just live and use this as a job.
A question that I've always wanted to know, I know a few other people have asked it when we put out some ideas, is when you are an influencer and you just create content, But like, let's say you're not working with any specific brand at a given time. What does that actually look like? Is it always just like day in the lives and like things like that? Like, what actual content do people like to see? Like, what does it actually look like? Not an Instagram day in the life, but what does it actually look like?
So I don't do any of the day of the lives because I can't be fucked filming any of that sort of stuff.
Filming, editing, fuck.
Yeah, it would be filming, editing it as well. Like it would
It's
just
like,
take a
bro,
whole
I
day.
just had breakfast. I went to the gym.
Yeah.
I'm a human being. I feel like people forget that. It's like influencers are just human beings with a lot of people looking at them. It's like, you're going to get up and go have breakfast. You're going to go to the gym. You're going to drink your water. You're probably going to poop. You're going to go for a walk.
Take a shit.
Yeah, it's like, you're just a human. It's like,
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what people expect. Like, oh, my day in the life. Like, well, you think I'm just printing money or like,
It's crazy though how many people actually care though.
Yeah.
But that's the thing about being an influencer is that you're actually influencing other people, and the people that are actually following your page, it's kind of like you're feeding into, like, you want them to kind of, I don't know, follow the life of you. So the people and the influencers that do the day of the lives, like I definitely like hats off to them because it takes a lot just to actually film and do the edits, and then obviously like all the typing and everything that they put on their videos as well. But no, I don't do that. My videos pretty much consist of a lot of fitness things. I don't really have a fitness sponsorship with any sort of branding deals or anything like that. So anything that I put out is pretty much just on my own terms. But I just do it just to inspire because I get a lot of comments and messages of people who express that I've helped, motivate them, or just like they want to look like me, or they're inspired to look like me or something like that. So that kind of stuff makes me really, excited. And that whatever I'm putting out and projecting, it's actually, having a really healthy and positive effect.
It's a good feeling, isn't it?
It is nice.
And it's probably one of the only things that money couldn't buy, I reckon.
Yeah.
That feeling
it's kind of like acts of kindness as well in a way. Like I really enjoy that kind of work. And for the fact that I'm able to produce something that's like, zero money made from it, but it's just like, helping way to, I don't know, motivate younger women, older women, even men.
I know. It was really interesting to see some of the questions that came through, which we'll touch on later.
Yeah.
How old were you when you got into social media? You said you've had Instagram for a very long time.
I think I actually went stalked you. It was like 2013, something like that. 2013.
Like, how did you stalk?
Like I literally went to your first photo.
That's pretty fucked
What year?
up.
2013?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
God, I would hate to think what those.
It was just like selfies in the mirror, just like standard teenage girl
You've
stuff.
been school then, yeah?
Yeah. I finished school in 2014.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. The first modeling gig I think I did was, I think it was 5 years ago. So it would have been like, what, 19, 8?
5 years ago, in 21.
Yeah, 21. There we go. Maybe that's right.
Or were you 18?
Yeah, maybe. No, it might have been 21. I haven't really looked that far back.
So you're 21.
No, I'm 26.
No, I know you're 26 now. So you were 21.
Are you talking about the year 21 or are you talking like you were 21?
No, I would have been 21.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck's going on?
I got interrogations at 21 or 18.
No, I'm not too sure. I'm trying to like think back because like 18 to 21, I was like in like party years.
Full
like,
send.
Yeah, literally like Thursday to Sunday, I'm out of here, King Street, like that sort of thing.
Work the rest of the week and do it again the next one.
Literally, like paycheck was just going straight to the weekend.
Fuck,
so
remember those days?
Wild Thursdays.
Fucking idiots.
Wow, Thursdays.
Wow,
What did I do?
Thursdays.
Unique Thursdays. So I was
Wow,
down on the
unique.
peninsula.
Wow. Oh, the other side of town.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. I've not been up here in Melbourne for too long. It's been 3 years now, so
How shit is it? How shit's the nightlife?
I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, it's
I
fucking
can't.
yuck.
I know.
Here's like a controversial topic, but I'm just going to bring it up because like it's not super bad. But people like bars and I fucking hate bars. I can't do it. Like
Bars are nice.
I like bars.
I don't know,
like
mate.
bars a lot more now. Than
I can appreciate them a lot more now.
Yeah.
It's like if you want to go out, just go out. Like for me personally, it's like I don't want to be in a room where like I can't really dance. Like it's like this small like.
And it's like a hot box and people
It's like
sweaty
you either want to go out and send it and dance, and that's fine, or just stay home. It's like not halfway in between.
There is different.
Well, there is halfway in between.
Which
because
is
you
a
can just
bar.
go to a bar, exactly.
But so what's the point of
No,
that?
but his concept of a bar is like an Irish pub full of fucking
Oh,
things.
Nah,
Where
but it's like
you
I
and
went
I
to
are
Morris
thinking of-
Jones the other week. It was the ugliest thing.
Morris like more so a bar or like a
It's
kind of
both.
like bar transitioning into. But there's more than just Morris Jones. Like we're in Melbourne.
I'm
like,
saying as an
As an
example.
example.
Yeah, it's like if you want to go out, go out. If you don't want to go out, stay home.
Yeah.
Don't half do it. Like I'm just gonna go to a pub or a bar and have a couple of drinks. It's like,
So perfect example, last weekend, because this is literally me, we went to a bar, my friend and I just went to a bar that was
In the
just
city?
like, yeah, in the city. It was actually really nice. Can't remember the name of it though. But we were there and then it led to, hey, we should just go to Miss Collins. So we went from bar to club.
you just
Went to the George a few weeks ago. That was pretty good.
The George.
Yeah, the George on Collins.
Haven't heard of it.
No,
Oh, really?
I don't know what that is, bro.
The George on Collins? Oh, anyway.
Is that like a real estate thing or something?
Yeah, it was like a work
I
conference.
just get abused for being a real estate agent. Don't know why. Fucking hell.
Anyways, not important. Back to Sammy. So you're 21.
No, I was 21.
That's where we're at.
were
That's
20
my 21.
When you first got approached to do
Yes.
modelling, you were 21
Yeah.
years old.
Yes.
Yes or no,
Yes,
Sammy?
yes.
All right, you're 21 years old. And if you don't mind me asking, where were you in that point of your life?
I was literally in a transition with my life. So I was at the point of after, going out for many years, weekend after weekend, not really prioritizing my body at all. I was training, but didn't really know what I was doing. So I just had a membership at Core 24. They don't really exist up here. It's more so at the Peninsula.
Heard
But-
of it in my life.
You never heard of it? It's just
Fuck.
like one of your like Anytime Fitnesses. So it's just like one of them sort of gyms. So me and a friend just went in there, did our thing, but like we never actually knew what we were doing. So there was a point in my life where I was just like, I'm literally sick of looking and feeling this way. And I just remember having a moment where I just wanted to make a change for myself. And it's kind of like within, I don't know if it was within that week or the couple weeks within wanting to make that change, that it's almost like I really have this thing with like a law of attraction, right? And the mind is so powerful.
100%.
It
So
literally
strong.
is, because I will never forget this, but when I made that decision to want to make a change, I had that photo shoot and that opportunity with the car brand to do a photo shoot, but also as well within that time, I actually had a brand called Australian Sports Nutrition.
ASM.
ASM.
Yes.
So they actually reached out to me because they were looking for ambassadors, and I was like, what's an ambassador? But a couple weeks before that or something, I had been in contact with one of the girls that did a supplement. She had like a supplement stand at one of the gyms that I was like at, or at the gym I was at. And she just really loved my vibe and everything like that. I was there like tasting all the shots and like went to the workout, came back, had some more. So like she had found me on Instagram and then reached out in with that question. So I was like, okay, like I'll come in and have a chat about more. And
I don't know what the fuck this is, but say yes now, figure it out later.
Literally.
Ambassadors, like it's only been, I reckon, probably the last 3 years where there's been a massive growth with brands using ambassadors on social media because it's a form of marketing at the moment.
Yeah, especially
Absolutely.
now it's like, influencer marketing, it's like a really big thing. But back then it's like, you were like, what is this?
Well, yeah, I remember I was just working at a cafe at the time and I had to ask people that I was working with, I'm like, what's an ambassador? And they explained it to me. It's representing a brand. I'm like, hey, that's really cool. Like, that asked me out of like what?
Yeah.
So then I remember going into the store, and I hadn't actually been into the store before because supplement store was so like intimidating. Had a conversation with a girl named Jackie, who I'm actually very close friends with, like to this day. And she pretty much explained to me what they offer and what would be expected in the ambassadorship. And I said yes and went through
Discount
with
code,
it.
this, that.
Yeah, so that, and then from that, there was then a filming day literally the week after. And they're like, you should come to the filming day. We're going to get some content happening. So to get advertisement for ASN. And I'm like, content? Like, I've never
Fuck's
heard
that?
people
What does that
talk
mean?
about content before. And I remember I was so scared because I didn't know anyone. And I'm like just starting out into like my whole new fitness world, my fitness journey. And I ended up going to the gym and I was like, prepping myself for it. And Jackie was there, the girl that I had already spoken to. And like she was doing a thing, I met her. And then I met some other people there, some other girls. And then we were all just training. And then it was just normal training, just someone's filming. And then that was pretty much my second kind of like dipping my toe into the content world, let's say. So yeah, that was my first like actual proper video photography shoot. And I remember how fun it was. Like after being so nervous
Would
and
be.
yeah, it was literally just training
Yeah.
and then just like meeting people. And I was like, this
Having
is
fun,
kinda
networking.
cool. Yeah, like just taking supplements.
They've always
and
got snacks
training.
and shit. It's the best.
Yeah.
Best. Always got lollies. I did one the other week with STC Fit. It was the best. Like they got lollies, Red Bulls. Everyone's just training and just some guy in the back. You don't even know they're there and they're just taking photos and
Yeah,
videos.
and they just capture the moments.
Yeah, and you get all these mad photos at the end of it. You're like, oh fucking.
Actually, I look really good in that
Fucking
mirror.
nice.
That lighting there was great.
And then was it sort of just like a flow on effect from there? You're like, all right. And then did you start having your own goals? I like, okay, like these people starting to reach out to me, and there's a brand. Let's just use the example of let's say Gymshark or EHP Labs. You're like,
Yeah.
these smaller brands have reached out to me. I'd love to work with and represent these amazing brands. Did you sort of set yourself sort of milestones that you wanted to work with in certain brands?
Or is it a more go with the flow?
At the point, I think it was more so just me on my own journey because I kind of wanted to look a certain way. So I was in the beginning of my leg sleeve and I was like, I really want really good legs if I'm having a leg sleeve. So my whole thing was like, I just want to look fit. So in order to look fit, I had to train. And, you know, now being a part of a, you know, group or an industry where your job is to influence people by being healthy and looking fit and being fit, I then got into having a coach. So then after I got a coach that was actually someone a part of ASM.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I then started working closely with them, and then I started getting a better understanding with how food should be portioned and like how often you should be eating and everything like that, and how my training should actually be structured. So then after working like that and then seeing results, I'm like, oh, I actually want to do this more. So it was just my own growth. And then from me doing my own growth, that then stemmed to photographers wanting to reach out to me, people messaging me, being inspired, and for me to even inspire anyone from the way that I look back then versus to however I would have never expected to look now.
And by this stage, I'm assuming your following base had started to sort of compile and slowly grow as well.
Yeah, it was starting to grow. So I remember I was, I don't know what age I was, but I actually had my first sponsorship with a brand, so an activewear brand. And I remember I was on like 11,000
followers.
Yeah, so I had like 11K
Casually.
there. Yeah, but just casually.
Just casually.
But no, I remember like that was really cool because I'm like, I'm in the Ks. This is mad.
As soon as you hit 10, it's like, fuck,
I wanted to hit 10.1. I was like, because 10, I'm like, it's too clean.
10.1.
I was like 10.1, and then like it would go up to 0.3,
I'm in the
and then
Ks.
I know.
Love that.
I'm the real deal now. No more fucking around.
Absolutely, I'm like, there's 2 digits in there now. We're laughing.
It's like seeing it go from like 3 digits to 4. It's like, oh, okay. I'm in 4 digits. I'm in the thousands.
When you
But now
hit-
there's a K, and I'm like, oof. I'm like, girl, we're doing something right.
Is that when the K, it was Sammy fucking P?
Is that when it became Sammy fucking P?
Absolutely. Probably.
I've got a question. Now, going back to you mentioning that going out every weekend, fucking doing whatever we do.
Can I guess what you're going to say?
No. Go doing the weekend. You got to a point you said where it was, you were feeling like shit. Was that, and then you obviously, you wanted to make a change. Was that something you did, was it a thought that was sitting there gradually leading up, or was it just like a bang, fuck, I need to change because I hate the way I feel? And if so, do you actually sort of remember what it was specifically that made you make that life change or that life switch?
On a very short note, I think what he was trying to say is...
No, I said
what was the turning point? In like
So
4
I
words.
understand like from both. Thanks
I'm
for
just
narrowing
fucking
it
with you.
down
I'm
for
just
me.
fucking with you. Relax, it's all right.
said it right. Anyway.
I actually do. So I was working at a cafe at the time, like I mentioned, and we have to wear aprons. And I remember the apron, like every time I put it on, I always looked really bloated, and I hated how I looked with the apron on. And then like that was just the beginning of the day, like the morning. So then like even though like you've eaten lunch and like everything else after that too, like I just kept feeling like shit after it. And I think I just was literally over feeling that way at work every day. Like I get up and I'm like, oh, like I have to, like I didn't look nice from the side in my own eyes. And it was just the uncomfortableness of having to wear that apron. And yeah.
You wouldn't think something so small would make such a big influence and impact on your entire life.
It's the little things though. And it's the little things that we
Absolutely.
realize as people.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Everyone's got their thing, and it might not be something that other people will ever look twice about, for example. But if it's your thing, it's your thing.
Like I remember someone telling me, an overweight guy was telling me that he's like, what made me really want to get in shape is that he's like, I was so over having to pull my seatbelt the entire way out to put it on.
See, that's
What
what
was
it
your
is.
thing?
Yeah, I was sort of saying, I was like,
Apron.
I look, yeah, apron fucking looked shit. No, I was just like, I hate the way I look. I was like, I literally look like a piece of sponge. Like I'm just like
Potato.
Yeah, like it's just, I don't like the way I look. I don't feel confident.
Yeah.
And that's on it. Like anyone, we've all been there. We've all sort of been lean. We've all, can tell you. It's not just like, for looking. Like it really does play a big role in your confidence and how you present yourself. And, you're probably so much less likely to come into a room full of energy and greet people or want to network and meet people if you're really feeling shit about yourself. So
mine was the number on the scale.
yeah, fucking.
Well, I broke my leg.
Damn.
Oh,
I broke my leg. Yeah,
It's not an excuse, bro. Anyways.
shut the fuck up.
You went there.
No, I broke my leg. Can't fucking do anything. Couldn't even drive.
Can't do push-ups? You got 2 arms.
No, but you need your leg.
Yeah, you need
Do it on your knees.
It was bad. Anyway,
Moving on.
Do shoulder press.
Moving on.
Shoulder press.
moving on.
Sorry, who is he?
I don't know. RS, Ford RS.
Some guy looks shit in an apron.
All right.
Anyway.
We're going to finish up here.
broke the
Broken
leg.
leg.
Broke the leg. Was out for like 8 weeks. I was in a shit state of mind. Like chucked on the weight, ridiculous. And I remember when I saw 3 digits on the scale. I was like, fuck.
And your life.
Holy shit.
Yeah, right.
Time to change. Leg got fixed. Dropped about 40 kilos and then went off.
Wow, you dropped 40 kg.
I was 114 and then dropped down to 77.
Big boy.
Yeah, it was fucking massive.
Oh, he looked good.
Thanks, man.
You look really good, man.
40 kg, that's incredible.
Yeah, it was fucking. It was just it's like an animal in your head when it gets in there, It's just like fuck.
And then it's hard for it to get out though too.
It's hard for it to get out, but it's quite powerful, that voice. And it's also like borderline dangerous in the sense of, it could take over. Like and then after that situation, get into relationships and everything like that. It's a voice that is there. It's a whole other discussion. That voice, I think.
I think a big thing that I've taken from what you guys have said and what other people can take is that like you can't force someone to change, but when they're ready, like people will be overweight for years and years and years and years or long times for very long periods of time. Or they'll be skinny for ages or like, I'm going to sign up at the gym. And then one day they'll just go, I'm actually going to start. And then they do it. It's like, until that point, you can't really, as much as you want to push on, go gym,
That's
go for
so
your walk.
true.
It is
Unless
actually very
they're
true,
ready
yeah.
to fucking commit.
There's so many
it'll never
people that
happen.
say, oh, I will, or oh, I should, and that sort of thing. But it's like until you actually have that turning point or there's something, and hopefully, like, for the love of God, that it's not something so, like, horrific, like a health issue or something like that to make you need to turn that point. It's like, as long as you can have that realization.
So I reckon, there'd be a lot of people that reach out to you saying, oh, I want to do it, I want to get fit. But at the end of the day, it's up to them. But what you're doing is you're displaying, yourself a lot in the sense of that helps them with that decision in the long haul.
Yeah, and it's been really amazing as well because I've had people that have followed me from day dot and then
crazy.
They've seen this transition and this growth and this person as to who I am today, this woman that I am today. And when people have recognized and actually come forward and actually said something like, wow, like you've changed a lot, I'm just like, thank you so much. Like, it's really nice to hear that sort of stuff. So
Going back to the modeling side of things, you said, so that was 2013?
No, 2013 is when you stalked my profile.
Yes.
That was all the way back down when Instagram, I first had my Instagram.
Pretty fucked up. Nothing. Yep. Go.
No comment.
No comment.
2018, I think it was.
Was that with ABW?
No, so ABW, I met Eddie. So I actually started working for ASN after being an ambassador for them. So I actually then got a job with them.
Yep.
So then I started doing the supplement samples, which is how I first got into the industry with it after meeting Jackie doing her supplement samples with them. So I started doing that. And then there was a day where Eddie had... he had like a talk for, it was something to do with the WBFF. They were having like a talk or something and they had ASN there. So I was with the supplement table there. And so then I met Eddie from there and some of the crews. So I started meeting WBFF people, pros. And then him and I just we just kept in contact since then. And then it was, again, the photo shoot thing, like, hey, I'm doing a photo shoot, like, would love you to be involved sort of thing. And I've ended up being involved with quite a few of ABW's shoots and video ads and everything, which has been fucking sick because we've now done website shoots as well. So...
And I think that even adds to, for lack of a better word, your portfolio and your credibility. So let's say, again, let's use the example of Gymshark. Let's say they come across ABW and they go, oh, wait, that's the girl that we wanted. And she's done this before. She's been with other big brands. Again, it gives us more of a reason to reach out to this person because they're more suitable for the job.
Yeah.
So it really puts you in a good position to sort of like, gives you a competitive edge against other influencers in the industry to sort of give you the job instead of someone else as well.
And that's the thing about being uniquely different from everyone else is like you do not look like someone else because then obviously like they can just use someone else that looks like you. But if you are you, then you're just an individual which they can take it or leave it. So
So I wanted to bring up something being, in the social media realm and a model and everything.
Yeah.
But it also ties into a lot of the questions that we got, through your followers too. Confidence.
And like the mindset that goes behind it. Because some people think you can, you can build confidence, but some people think that like it's either you have it or you don't. We believe that you can build it over time. So we want to you're a very confident person, very outgoing, easy to speak to. We want to know what your take is on it.
Yeah. I love this question because I would have asked me this 2 weeks ago. I wouldn't have been as confident as I was today. So
What changed?
Huh?
2 weeks, fucking nice.
2
What happened 2 weeks?
Well, mindset.
Yeah.
Mindset. And you have the power to make the change of things. So if you're feeling like shit because you've eaten shit for the entire of last week and you lacked sleep and weren't looking after your body and, fueling with the right things and eating just like, crap foods and stuff like that, you're not going to feel too good physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever it is. So yeah, it's like you have the power to change that. And, if you want to, it starts from within. So it all starts from within. At the end of the day, you have to be happy with who you're facing in the mirror every day. And you have the power to make that choice, whether you go left or right with it.
Did you have?
Sorry.
Subtly.
Fucking hell. Almost died, bro. I almost choked and died. Holy shit.
You right? You some water?
No, I wanted to ask a question and I got stuck and then I choked and then you laughed, bro. Can I ask my question before I forget? I got ADHD.
Go.
See, look, I forgot it. See what you did? I forgot my question.
I think your question's in your throat, cuz.
Oh, no, there it is. So do you think that confidence stems from, again, being happy with who you are as a person, whether it be morally, whether it be the way you treat people, like it really comes from within? And do you think the first step forward into gaining and improving your confidence is taking care of your health as a whole?
I think yes.
Because I feel like a lot of people try and jump the gun, like, I want to be a confident person. I want to be able to walk into a room and speak to people, but I'm eating like shit, sleeping like shit, disrespecting people.
Do we think though that there's a level of confidence that people are, I guess, born with? Like there's a thing, not born with, but there's an energy that some people just have where...
Yeah, it's a big dick energy.
Facts.
You put it that way, big dick energy.
That's how
big dick energy. So you walk into a room and that person is fucking
a certain
interesting.
aura about it, yeah. But also there's different levels of confidence because there can be egotistic confidence where people think because they have this and this or they've got a certain status that, they can be, king dick on the night or whatever it is. But it's like within, are they actually feeling like that or are they just like covering
is it the front?
Void?
Imposter syndrome, this, that, like
exactly.
Just acting all tough.
It's so crazy that you start a conversation veers off to other shit.
Yeah.
So
start here.
Yeah, start here and
then
then
off here.
segue that way. So going on to, the ego and big dick energy, not big dicks energy. And then ego. So let's talk about ego because you said that you can be, like a dick about it.
Yeah.
And you can also be confident and have that confidence there too. And then that ties in with egos, and we spoke about egos with Josh as well on that episode.
And Reese.
And Reese too.
Yeah,
Egos and all of that too. Although it can be bad, like in a sense, and I think that's when ego, but sorry, I'm getting confused. When you have confidence in yourself, fuck. I just had a complete brain fart.
Okay. Can I jump in? Because I think relating to what Reese was saying about ego. So Reese says ego can be good, ego can be bad, especially in like business and sort of, achieving your goals.
That's what I was fucking saying.
So it can be good in terms of like it allows you to back yourself. I can fucking do this. I will do this. Yeah. But also it can be bad in terms of your ego doesn't like being bruised. So on the other side, it can keep you in your comfort zone. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword. It's like knowing when to I fucking got this, and knowing when to maybe I'm being a bit of a dick.
Absolutely. So I'm actually doing a bit of soul healing at the moment. So I'm actually working closely with a woman that is kind of like my therapist, but we do a bit of somatic work as well. So we actually talk about the ego, and I've been a bit confused with this one because I've always looked at ego in a negative way because I'm like, oh, this person's got an ego. But it's, as you literally said, it's like we've got the good one and the bad one sort of thing. So it's like we need our ego, but we also need to make sure that we don't, the bruising side of what you said, it's just like.
It's about balance.
Yeah.
It's literally
knowing when to use it. It's like, I feel like that's a sort of good way to put it.
So maybe a certain level with it as well.
No, it's the levels. You're spot on. So I actually spoke to, I think, someone similar to who you're sort of speaking to, and we were doing all the same work and talk and everything like that. And the concept I've got to look at it as like a yin and a yang. You know?
Yeah.
The black side being ego and the white being your soul. So you've got your soul, which is your heart, you know, literally your soul, the kindness, the goodness of you all. And then you've got your ego where it's just, fuck, I want to be looking better, you know, that real fucking angry voice in your head.
It's like, it looks like this.
Yeah, literally.
It looks like this.
It's an aggressive energy.
It looks like that. It's looking down because it's looking down at everything. Yeah.
I like that. That's a good analogy.
That's a great
and
analogy.
the other one's like,
yeah. It's like, oh, don't worry about it. You look fine.
It's like having the devil on one shoulder and the angel.
Well, that's what it is,
100%.
essentially. It's the devil on one shoulder and the angel on the other.
Yeah.
And it's about having that balance because sometimes, you know, you can, and that was what Reese was saying, you can utilize your ego to get things in life in the sense of that. But it's having that soul there too where it's balanced. Because when the ego takes over, the ego can take over and you lose track.
And that's when you get that yucky confidence. Yeah. So, yeah.
You just become a fucking dickhead.
Literally. And don't be that person. If you're listening to this, don't be that person.
Was it, going back to confidence, were there any massive times throughout your career or last few years being a model and a social media influencer where you didn't feel that confident or you were low in confidence? Yep.
So I definitely have my days, weeks, months, whatever it is. Like, it's never always just like an uphill of like, you know, being successful and like being fit and healthy and, you know, being always in your routine and doing all that sort of stuff. Like, there'll be weeks and there'll be times and there'll be circumstances that can, you know, put things on hold or maybe like make you feel a little bit crappy or maybe, you know, something's happened and you don't want to go on train or like you've had a big day or someone said something or like whatever your circumstance is. So there's always been up and downs, absolutely. Definitely during COVID. Definitely, I know I don't really want to say the C word, but like
hate the C word.
Doing that, I had a really amazing phase and then I had a really low phase. So it was just about like, I don't know, like that's one bit that I can really relate to with that because I think that was the last time that I've been quite low, but also then quite high. So
one of the, I guess, questions that we had under confidence was when you feel low, what do you do to fix it at that point in time?
How do you get yourself out of the rut of like, everything sucks, I'm shit, etc.?
So I allow myself to feel how I'm feeling. So I validate.
Yes.
Yeah. Is that the right answer?
That's fucking so big.
Yeah.
Being present with what you're feeling, acknowledge it, write it out, let it be.
Literally.
And then
accepting
if you try and mask it as a whole,
you don't, because it's just going to come back and bite you in the ass later down the track. Or you might not heal that certain rut that you're in. But yeah, so I now sit with it. I validate how I feel. I feel like shit. I feel, you know, yuck. I feel ugly, whatever it is. How can I do something to, you know, move my body today or make myself feel better? Do I just go for a walk outside? So I didn't train, but I've just gone for a walk outside. Do I try and just do a good deed? Do I just try and tip my cafe? Do I, there's a lot of homeless around here. So do I, you know, give them a bit of money? Yeah. Do I give them a little bit of money or like, you know, little food or whatever it is? Like just, and then doing something that can make someone else feel a little bit better can really make you put a smile on your face too.
It's the law of reciprocity. It's like giving without the expectation of return is the best thing you can do for yourself. But then it's just natural karma, like I said, law of attraction.
See, that I disagree with that. And again, we had that chat with Reese. If you're giving something, like I don't think there's a point of where you can give something without wanting anything in return. If you're giving something to someone, you're
not directly giving something. It could be a piece of advice. Like if somebody messages me, say, hey, what's the best food to eat to get my protein in? And if I say, hey, chicken breast or whatever. So it's just advice. Like it's just helping someone without expecting them to pay you or say thank you. Just whatever it is, just giving without the expectation of return.
Yeah.
It's like you don't expect the homeless guy to fucking give you $10 back. You're just giving him $10, bro.
Yeah.
Now you're contradicting yourself.
No, because you said anyway. This is a different.
Giving without the expectation of return.
Getting back to leaving the situation from the topic.
So back to like how that links in with training. So one of the questions, we're going to jump into the question segment. So one of the first ones that came up about training is, Sammy, are you on steroids?
No, I've seen that one.
Yeah.
I've seen that one. Do you know what's so funny? I actually find it a compliment if someone thinks that I'm on Anavar
I'm fucking
or
looking
something.
good, bro. I'm looking good.
I know. I'm like, thank you. But no, I'm absolutely not on steroids.
She's
I'm
natty.
totally natural. I'm not even taking fat burners or pre-workouts at the moment.
Just
Really?
yeah, I'm doing a
Did
whole.
you drink coffee?
Yes, I do. I have to have my coffee.
How do you have your coffee?
I use Before You Speak coffee. Have you heard of it?
Before
It's
you
from
speak
ASN.
coffee.
It's a brand and it's a certain type of black coffee.
Like
But it's like a
cold
high
brew,
performance one.
like a cold brew coffee.
No, you can have it cold, but I like it hot.
So it's called Before You Speak
Yeah.
coffee.
Fucking amazing. It's like caramel
fucking
kind of
amazing.
flavor.
That sounds cracker.
It's so good. It's like green bean coffee extract, like turmeric, black
Green
pepper.
bean.
So it's kind of like a not fat burn, but it's a high performance one. But
Sounds like a recipe to poo yourself.
oh, I'm straight to the bathroom after.
You would. You
Instant
fucking
caffeine.
Literally,
You're out
that's
of
how I
there.
get my morning going. Open up my journal, coffee.
In and out straight away. So guys, she's natty, all right? She eats good, she trains hard. It's that simple. Just do
That's
it for
it.
long enough and you'll probably see some changes.
If I was actually on steroids, God forbid what I would actually look
Hard,
like.
hard, literally.
But I have no reason to because I'm not going into a competition or I'm not needing to go to that extreme.
How many days do you work out?
I fluctuate between 5 and 3.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Well, this is a good one because again, I feel like this comes down to when you're sort of feeling shit, feeling good. When you are feeling crap or, it's a time of the month, all those sorts of things, how do you sort of allow yourself to be okay with training 3 days? Because if you're normally training 5 when you're feeling good, most girls will go, oh my God, for lack of a better word, I'm fat, I'm shit for only training 3 days. So how do you keep a positive mindset when you're doing less of what you normally do?
So I actually know that I feel a lot better when I do move my body, even if it is just going for a walk. But like one thing that is so difficult that I think we just need to try and just like remember to ourselves is even if we just go to the gym to even just like go on the treadmill, you might actually end up just having a workout and that workout might actually be a fucking good workout without you.
They're the ones.
They are the ones.
When you
the
don't want to
ones.
do it. Yeah.
When you like literally, so Miss Collins last Friday, I had training on the Saturday. So I always do like a glute booty session and I didn't want to go, but I've got the accountability of my personal trainer and some other people that are in the group doing it. So I went there. I was not feeling well. I had 4 hours sleep. I'm dehydrated, yuck, whatever. I went there and still had a fucking good workout. I'm glad I went there and did that. I ended up just moving and doing a little bit more after that anyway, just to get the body moving.
Do you think the accountability helps? Like having a PT?
Yes. So this is one thing that I could definitely like preach is if there is ever a phase or a time that you're unmotivated to go to the gym or you're a bit lost or something like that, get a PT. There's no harm in you're investing into it really. So you're not like, oh, it's like too much money or anything. It's like, no, you're actually investing into your health by being accountable to someone else that will actually push you without you needing to actually thinking about it.
I think that's the side of PTs. I think when I first started going to the gym, I never agreed. Like I was like, why the fuck do I need a PT? I can Google my own shit.
Think you can do it
yeah.
yourself?
Do you think you can do it yourself?
And perhaps you can.
I can count my own macros. I can,
Yeah.
But
I don't need this.
I don't need it. PTs. Fuck you, bro. But then there's that.
Literally.
Yeah. There's the whole
Okay, next question.
There's the whole accountability side of it that I've never seen.
Yeah.
And it's for probably people who are not as, I guess, it's not even about being strong-minded. It's just about an additional resource to help you push yourself in the gym.
Absolutely. So
What other training questions do we have?
The next one was...
what are your thoughts on the current state of the fitness industry? I think that's probably along the lines of coaches.
General fitness influencers and it being very, very sexualized and that sort of thing.
okay, I did see this question. I didn't really think I had much of a view on what the current fitness industry is, but I will say, because I actually then thought about it a little bit, is that there's a lot more normalizing small things at the moment. So a lot more women in particular are kind of normalizing, like, yes, you're going to have cellulite when you wear your booty shorts, so just wear them.
Yeah.
Or there'll be something about, what's another example? Like, oh, you're feeling bloated at the gym. Like, don't worry about it. Just like put a jumper on, put a long t-shirt on. Or one of those ones, there's a girl at the moment that's doing these videos and she's actually like brought the tripod and everything. And she goes, I'm just doing a video to show you that no one actually cares what you're doing at the gym.
Oh, so I've seen that. That's great.
Yeah.
She does some random shit.
And she's doing like cartwheels and she's actually like on gym equipment. Like she goes to different gyms that she's not familiar with and she'll start doing these leg machines or whatever the machines are or exercises. And she's just to put it out there that it's just like you're in your own head. No one actually is watching what you're doing because they're at the gym doing what they need to do for their work. So
getting a bit controversial and political, what are your thoughts on companies and businesses that promote or influencers out there that promote unhealthy eating and stuff like that, in the sense of like it's okay to be overweight? What's your stance on that?
it's
Like-
a hard one.
Like, not so much like plus size models, but like them saying that it's okay to be that size.
I think what we need to understand is that they're like obesity and overweight is such a normal, unfortunately, it's such a normal thing at the moment that I guess what they're trying to do is, I guess, make it comfortable for people. But also as well.
Yeah, sorry,
No,
continue.
that's okay. But also as well, I do see that like, so I train in my apartment gym here, like sometimes, and there's quite a few women that are quite obese, but they might be starting on their fitness journey. So it's just like and they might not have, previously before, like now normalizing, overweight or whatever the question is that you mentioned about the eating or whatever. But just, I guess it can make them feel a bit more comfortable to start.
I sort of think the opposite. I think because it makes them comfortable, they're less likely to make a change.
That is what it is.
And I think that,
See, I don't know because I'm not in their mindset or haven't really spoken to.
well, let's say you're an overweight person and they keep saying, you know what, it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. You're healthy. It's fine. It's fine. You go, well, if it's fine. Well, then why would I change? So I feel like that's sort of...
Yeah, and that's just a basic, I think, psychology thing. If you think you're okay, then there's no need for change.
But as long as
And
like
you're
that
comfortable.
person, and that's the thing, because someone could have been so unhealthy for so long and they can be healthy now, but maybe they're just not moving the weight as fast, or like maybe they're like at a maintenance kind of, weight range or body figure or whatever it is, but like they potentially could be healthy. So
The only positive thing I would see from it is probably people in that stance who are very, like, they're not that mentally strong and they actually feel really shit about themselves. So the only positive thing I see about that push is, it makes people in that position feel okay, that they're not completely...
That I agree with. Like, I'm all for body confidence. That's one thing, but I don't like how they're normalizing it to be healthy. Like, if you're an overweight person, you want to go to the beach with your shirt off, amazing, great.
what's
Fucking
an
good on
example
you.
of it being advertised as healthy? Because could it just be like more of a money scheme or like a marketing scheme for businesses and brands?
I've seen a lot of things
To
on...
be more like socially accepted, maybe.
Yeah. So I think, and help me out on this. I think some of the contributing things to the push is probably, you say, like plus size models.
Yeah.
Nothing against them at
Yeah,
all.
nothing,
It's just
100%.
the push of plus size models. But then again, on the opposite side of that spectrum, like having anorexic models, I disagree with.
Yeah,
You know,
see, there's...
It's a double-edged
It's
sword.
a double-edged sword.
Literally,
Yeah.
100%. There's
But-
always extremes.
There's been a few social media, I can't recall the accounts or whatnot, but they're people and large figures too that push that it's okay to be overweight, whatever industry they're in. I think one was a big comedian, one was a, gamer, the other one was...
Yes,
Yeah.
he was like on a podcast. He's
Yeah.
like, if I want to just be overweight, then like let me be. Like if I want
Okay,
to
you
be
can
fat.
be overweight then, but you're going to have a lot of fucking health issues and you're probably going to die quite young. So
But that's the thing.
yeah, I do understand what you mean now. Yeah. It's a hard one because like you're right about the whole anorexia thing or like the very like little models, like the whole Victoria's Secret thing.
Size
like,
6.
Yeah.
It's
For
like, whoa.
years, like it was like that, but then it's like we look down upon, bigger women, but it's like, hey, that's actually not
That's
too
not
healthy
healthy.
either.
No, it's
No.
And
Yeah.
then there's also like your big brands that I've seen a lot more of it now with adverts and everything where it's, lingerie, food, whatever it is. They use larger size, people, whether it's male or female.
Yeah.
They're using like larger, I guess, models.
See, my view on it is that I actually think it's like not when they're like obese, but I understand like larger or like more full size bodies. Like I actually don't mind seeing it because I think that it's unfortunately become such a normalized thing here. Like our whole world's just flooded with so much
in the
food
Western world, yeah.
Oh yeah, like it's just so unfortunate that healthy alternatives are so much more expensive than unhealthy.
I hate that.
Yep.
It's so backwards, isn't it?
It is.
It is so it really pisses me off, hey.
Even little
like
things.
A salad can be like $12-14 and then you can just go to McDonald's and get something for like what, $2-3?
Yeah. Or even something small like even at Macca, they should I personally reckon, like start normalizing. It's like Coke Zero should be the default drink, not a Coke. As an example.
Well, why don't you go to Macca's? Is that water for the drink? No, is that Coke for the drink?
Yeah.
Fuck you, I want water.
Yeah, things like that can make such a big difference because people don't it comes down to being educated, but people don't realize how easy they can overconsume. This is a whole nother thing, but overconsume food and calories. And this is something I was actually speaking to one of my clients about. He's like, oh, I just had this small dish. It was like only like, this big. But I was like, it doesn't matter how big it is. It's what's in it. It's like, let's use like olive oil as the example. It's like I have a tub of lettuce compared to like this much olive oil. The olive oil's probably got more calories in it. So it really
I don't really use sauces because there's so many hidden calories like in sauces, even though sauces make everything so
like Kewpie mayo is the best thing in the fucking world.
I refuse to buy that stuff.
But it's so fucking high in calories. It's just made with eggs and so good.
But it's so high in fat and it's just an additional it's just an additional piece of like level of fat that you're putting on your healthy dish. So
you just have some low fat mayo, bit of sriracha.
Yeah, I just do lemon juice.
All that.
Salt. Proper Greek style.
Fake.
Shut up.
Fake Greek. Put your hands up if you can speak Greek.
If he actually
I know words.
Greek.
Malaka.
Boosty. Last question on training and nutrition is, I think it was targeted more to you in the sense of what your background and knowledge is on nutrition. Did you know a lot about that when you're training, or is it all generated through like your PT?
I've learnt it all along the way and I'm still learning today, and I think that we will always be learning.
There's one question about work that came up on our social was linking with the sort of modeling and that sort of thing. Did you ever have any adverse outworks?
English, good. Hands up if you can speak English. Can you though?
Adverse.
Had a day I struggled.
Reactions from
boys.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but I might have seen in your profile you do spicy content. Is that true? Yes. Okay, so like that's what the question was relating to in terms of have you had like adverse effects where some brands, like you might have reached out to a brand, but they didn't want to work with you because you also do that.
I'm not aware that could have happened because no one's actually said anything.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Got you.
You know the chili emoji?
Yeah. Got it. Yeah. Cool.
But so that was the question. Like, have ever worked against you? Like they don't want to work with you, or someone hasn't offered you, an ambassadorship or something like that?
Yeah. So I'm not familiar with that because I have still got, I've still had opportunities when I have had it. But I'm not too sure in the sense of it's maybe, I'm not sure if it's stopped or minimalized my chance because I wouldn't have had the feedback.
I think it would work in your favor.
From a business standpoint, businesses don't give a fuck. They care about
exposure, and you get, if that helps get it, then so be it.
Yeah. So on my social media, you won't actually see me advertising a lot for it because I don't want to
push that.
I didn't even know.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I literally just put the chili and the little link thing in my bio not even that long ago. So it's always been like a link tree. So it's like an additional link.
Yeah,
but I don't advertise too much on like my platform that I've spent so long
building a good thing with. Positive vibes.
You've done like that. That's fucking that's not even nothing against people who do it. Like
absolutely,
and
like
all for it.
Like that's the thing as well. Like I've got it. There's many other people out there that have it. It's
massive now.
Exactly, it's such a big platform that I'm not really surprised when people do or don't have it. So
if you don't mind me asking, how long sort of has that been happening?
I've had it for not even a year. I think it's been 10 months.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
There was another one that came up on our end about the sort of the business side of it, and people think it's easy, and it's sort of like, how hard is it? Because like, just if you think about it, it's like, oh, you got to buy all this nice lingerie and stuff. You got to film it. You've got to edit it or pay someone to edit it.
Yep.
And it's what is it like at least once a week, new content, something like that. It's like, I don't know how it works, but like,
Yeah, what's the production behind it all?
So for starters, it's not an easy job. You
There you go.
literally need to treat it like
A job.
it actually is. Like you have to be in there, like connecting with your subscribers, like taking the photos.
because people just think, oh yeah, I'll just like upload a photo of my ass and like, you know, I'm gonna.
You don't just do it once. You have to be
Yeah,
consistent.
but like, I'll just
Oops,
wear
sorry.
the same thing, whatever, and like get paid. It's like, no, it's like probably a lot
Hey, I
harder.
just take selfies on there too, you know.
Hang on, but not just that. If you were a female who, and correct me if I'm wrong because I don't know an awful lot about it, but if you were a female who didn't have a big following, you'd have to grow a following, wouldn't you, to get the attraction to the page? Is that how it works?
So the more so I'm only speaking from my experience because I have my following.
Yeah.
But I use my following with the reach that it is with my male side of it all. That was probably a smart option for me to make the account, which it has been. But there are many other ways that you can advertise for it. So obviously the more followers that you do have, yes, you will.
It's an easy funnel.
Yeah, and like if I was to advertise more on Instagram, I'd have so many more. But I don't choose to do that. So you can use other.
And honestly,
platforms.
respect for that. Honestly,
you.
a lot of respect for that because again, a lot of girls are just like, they think just the money, just the money, just the money. But it's like, you know, no,
and
I'm
hats
really
off
trying
to
to
the
push.
grind.
Yeah.
Hats off to the grind because like it's a fucking good hustle on there. But for me personally and my own sanity, I'm just like that is not
Morally,
who I
you've
am.
got something behind it.
What are
Yeah.
your? I guess what are your thoughts? Where's the line stop in the sense of because there's a girl that I know that went to school. And, you know, seeing her account, she's gone on it and then just a complete switch. Like she looks like a different person now and completely different content that I probably think shouldn't be on the Instagram page. But it's just crazy to see how, you know, people change. What's sort of the line of that you think's too far to be posting on Instagram and account-wise?
I can't speak on my behalf on anyone else because what they choose to put on their social media is entirely their choice. However, they want to advertise for their OnlyFans, like they just do their thing. You know, if you're a follower of that person and you don't like the change, then I guess there's an unfollow button or if you don't like anything.
Say
but
less.
at the end of the day, it's their choice to do whatever they really want.
What are your thoughts on it though? From a back like spinning it, you know, you've got a daughter who's on Instagram, and Instagram can only hide so much, and those accounts are typically public.
Yeah, I get that. That's a hard one because I can't speak on behalf of that, but I do understand that obviously that will have to be definitely something that person or individual would have to kind of consider as well. But I don't know because OnlyFans hasn't been around for too long to really understand.
Quite new.
Yeah, but there's probably a lot of mums on there doing their thing, but yeah,
100%.
I don't know what that'll mean for.
How much time do you reckon you spend creating? Because like I said, this is what it comes back down to. People think it's so easy. Like in a week, how much time do you reckon you allocate towards it?
I go on it at least every day.
There you go. Like it's
Like
literally
work on
a
it,
job.
like work on
posting
posting
people.
everything every day.
I'm trying to get into a good rhythm of like spending half a day on. So this is my thing. Half a day on a Tuesday, I'll use that as like make content, take photos, that sort of stuff, and take enough photos and everything to last me for maybe a couple weeks. So that sort of stuff. And then just like everything else is just all admin work. So it's just all about like, you know, talking to my subscribers, like then sending out my, you know, photos, like chatting to them, posting on my wall, just having it all pre-organized like that.
Okay.
So there you go. Like I feel like that's such a big thing because people would just assume, oh yeah, I'm just gonna start one and make some money.
It's organization. It's
And
business.
Well,
Yeah.
But to be fair with you, you have to treat it like a business. Like you need like an ABN for it. Like you're pretty much being a sole trader to like this.
It's a service.
Yeah, absolutely. But there's been a lot of people because I know a lot of people that have started it because like, oh yeah, I think it's easy. But then it's like they then understand it's like, oh, actually, I don't want to do it. Or like it's actually hard or I'm not making the money that I thought I was going to make on it.
Yeah.
So
I'm curious from, you know, an investment standpoint, do you know anyone or would you know, like, would banks lend money to people who make money on OnlyFans? Like, is it seen as a sustainable source of income? Like,
if you were to go get a loan or finance
because
a
obviously,
car or something like
yeah,
that.
we know people who make a lot of money
yeah.
off it. And I was just thinking in retrospect of that, like, if you would have went off and go buy a house without a job at OnlyFans, how would that work?
I think it's still an income coming through. So
Do they consider it as an income?
I'm not
If-
too
if-
sure. I haven't spoken
if
to
they
a
can
bank. I haven't gotten to that point yet of wanting to buy property or.
Because that would be my only concern is like, imagine banks don't consider
Imagine
it
you
as
got all
a-
this money, but you can't do anything with
Yeah,
it.
imagine banks don't consider
She's like,
OnlyFans.
oh, fuck.
She's like,
I
oh,
don't. No, I'm just trying to think because I wouldn't. I've never thought of it like that because it's still an income coming in and like you've still got to pay tax on it. So
yeah, correct. Until you get to the point of wanting to
Yeah.
buy a house or a car,
Yeah.
and it comes to finance or getting a loan, that's why I was curious. Like,
Yeah.
would banks lend on people who do OnlyFans?
I'm not too sure. I just put mine into stocks. So
Oh, there you go. Smart.
Yeah.
Smart.
No banks. Fuck
No.
the banks.
Decentralized, baby. That's it. That's what's
Literally.
up. So,
Sorry, that was a random question.
No, of course. I wouldn't know because I haven't spoken to the
Yeah.
bank about it. But yeah, I
Just
guess
curious.
that's our unuseful financial.
before we move on to our last cool question.
There's personal and then travel too. Yeah.
Oh, travel.
There's personal. Do you wanna do
Guys,
personal
if
first?
you want it, it's in somewhere in the bio. Go find it. All right, moving on.
Link in bio.
Link in bio.
If you could tell yourself,
That's a good question.
If you could tell your 18-year-old self one thing, one piece of advice, what would it be?
I didn't really think about this when I seen it though. If I could tell my 18-year-old self something, it'd be something about comparing.
Tell the camera. Tell the camera.
All right. Don't compare yourself. Just be authentically you, and don't sweat the small stuff. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Good.
Yes. See ya.
That's actually a really good question. I like that too because
A lot.
it
Yeah,
gets your brain thinking like, fuck, hang on.
I did see that question,
Yeah.
but
It
I
was
didn't.
really,
think
really
of it.
good. And another one was sort of the vision for Sammy P. Like, what's vision board, goals, where you sort of looking?
Before we start on that, this is just a really basic question. Is Peninsula, were you born on the Peninsula?
Yes.
Because that was one of the questions. What region of Melbourne were you born
Oh, yeah.
Did you grow up?
and
so
grown up in?
So I grew up at the Mornington Peninsula. So
Yep.
I've always been like Langwarrin, Frankston girl, Franger.
Franger.
But I've always been down there.
Go to Morty for lunch and
Carrum Downs.
No, I didn't hang out in Carrum Downs or Morty. I was Mornington, Frankston, Franger, and Langwarrin. So
bloody Franger.
Not
Franger.
that, not
Franger
like that's any better.
Sammy
same.
fucking P from Franger.
Oh, but anyway, that's where I'm from. Yes.
And another one of the questions is, which I think is a really good question, is I guess based on recent experience, what really and truly brings you happiness?
Yeah, what's the one thing that this makes me feel good?
Do you know what? When the sun's shining and I've got my cup of coffee and I'm breathing in the air, like it's just
Facts.
It's-
literal facts.
The
It's
fuck you guys
just-
are on about? We live in Victoria. There's no sun.
Bad, bro. It's fucking tsunami and shit outside, bro.
there's been sun almost every day except for one
Bad.
day.
It's because you live fucking 500 meters in the sky. You're pretty much at the sun. That's why.
Do you know what?
Down on Earth, it's cold, man.
Down there.
Down in the suburbs, it's
Down
freezing.
in Frankston, it's still cold.
Nah, so I'm really grateful for where I live now. So this is the first time I've ever lived in an apartment. So I'm very, very grateful and blessed that we have this space to be able to actually just call home, and it's just the fact that it's upstairs. But so I wake up quite early in the morning. I make it non-negotiable 7 a.m. But I come up. What?
He's probably like, that's not early. This guy wakes up at like 4. He does training.
Okay, well, I'm not
I
really
think
Catholic.
I think it's early.
Hey, we're not comparing, all right?
don't
we're not
compare.
comparing.
Don't compare. No, so my early, thank you very much.
I didn't
is-
say anything. Why are you looking at me? Bro, put me
Fucking
on.
dickhead.
Put me on the juice, bro. Wallahi, put me
I'm
on
not
the
in the
juice.
4 a.m. club. No. So I wake up at 7 a.m., but like we actually see the hot air balloons here.
Oh,
so
that's awesome.
sometimes it's really nice to come up here with my coffee, journal, whatever, and just like watch, just see what happens. So
How important is journaling? That's actually a really good one. I wanted to ask.
Yeah,
There you go.
so-
what's the importance of journaling to you and your mental health?
quite important. But the thing is, like, sometimes I don't write pen to paper journals. Sometimes it's literally just like me speaking to my close friends. Like,
Okay.
yeah, I've got a few different ways to do it.
Releasing. It's a type of release.
Yeah.
vent.
Sometimes I just like to speak to the camera, just like, morning, my close friends. But
we,
yeah.
We wouldn't know.
It's good to have
Thought
those
about
people though too, and I think you need to have like a diverse amount of those people. I don't think you can be one person because then you're just anchoring yourself to one person, and if that
Yeah.
one person was touch wood to drop dead tomorrow, then your world falls apart because you're like, holy
Yeah.
fuck, So I think it's definitely important to have multiple different people to anchor to and to
Yeah.
reflect on. So you've got your
Definitely.
friends, and then you've got that lady that you say that you speak to
Yeah,
as
and
well,
I've
which
got
would
my
be
beautiful housemates.
and your housemates
Yeah.
too.
But yeah, journaling's so important. So I've never thrown out any book that I've written into.
Wow.
But it's just something about like writing, those memories or those moments or what comes up in your thoughts or like whatever it is. So when I travel, I'll always bring my journal, and every day I'll write the date on the top, and I'll write something that's made me happy that day or kind of reflect on it.
Yeah.
So I've got those journals to then look back, and I'm just like, Doha this day, like, I remember that. So it's kind of like living back in the moment.
Oh, that's
Actually
awesome.
fucking sick.
Yeah, it's a really nice way to reflect
I
on
think even journaling is a really good thing for the bad days as well. For when you're having your dark days, your shit days, to sort of again vent and again be present with it, let it come out, see what's actually going on. Because sometimes when it's all in your head, you might have so many different things sort of clouding your mind. So when you actually write it all out, or type a message or speak to someone, you can just lay it all out and see what's actually going on.
Do you know what I call that? I call it brain
Brain
dump.
fart. Brain fart.
I call it brain dump. So
brain fart.
no,
You know how you're
because
brain
I'm
farting when
dumping anything that's on my mind. I'll just write
Brain
it down.
dumping.
So I'm brain dumping.
I know what you're talking about.
Oh, we're not brain farting over here. I mean, you may have had a few brain farts today, but
I went to the lobby. I can't believe I went to the lobby to get my laptop.
I
bro.
said 4, not ground.
I said 4. I went. We're gonna ask.
Did you put the little like?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask the Asian guy.
Did you do
I'm
this
gonna ask
and
him.
then press 4?
I'm gonna tell Sammy where I was. I'm gonna ask the Asian guy. Anyways,
getting into brain dumping and journaling and everything. One of the questions was vision board. Did you ever have a vision board at all, or have you?
Yeah.
Are you into vision boards?
So I did a vision board last year or the year before, but that was only because I had like a life coach at the time, and that was one of our tasks that we had to do.
Mm-hmm.
But a vision board is so amazing because you literally look at it every single day. So my vision board at the time was for my business and what it was that I wanted to do in that aspect. But vision boards can be like, goal, like car goal, body goals. Like if you wanted to buy like fucking microphone or something like that, put the microphone on there. So yeah, vision boards are cute.
do you still have that business that was
No.
on there? Okay.
No.
Okay.
You know, it was a crazy realization. I have a vision board on my phone that I put as my wallpaper.
Yeah.
And a physical one too. So at my desk at home, every time I work, I look up and everything's there.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy because I think when it's repetitive like that, I was looking at it, like literally 2 days ago, and I was looking at the places, and a lot of it's Europe, and there's a lot of things that I've already sort of ticked off on that. And it's just crazy because you actually do it subconsciously.
Yeah, it
Yes.
happens.
It happens. It just
Yes.
happens. Like you're not even consciously thinking about doing it. It just happens.
It's somewhere imprinted
It's
in
in your
here
fucking
that
head,
it makes
yeah.
it happen.
You see it and it gets instilled into your head, and it just happens. Like I've got a lot of photos of Europe, and it's always been a big dream of mine to do a big trip, and it just happens. And like whether it's a watch or a car, you slowly start to see
Yeah.
all the bricks being laid.
Yeah, and that's the thing about the law of attraction, or
I think it's so
Yeah, it's
powerful.
like it's literally a magnet effect.
Do you ever like do affirmations and stuff?
No, probably not as much as I should.
I think affirmations are great too. Again, it's the same same
Putting
concept.
that energy out there.
Yeah.
I literally
Speaking
have.
to the
So I got
world.
it from Typo. I've got this big, it's a big pen like this, and you can write it on your mirror. So
The
sometimes
accountability
mirror?
mirror.
Huh?
On your mirror.
Yeah. So it's literally just like, it's not like
Like a
whiteboard,
marker.
but it's like a
Yeah.
chalk marker sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I just do that, and I've written down so many times like, I am valuable, I am worthy, or something like that, and I'll leave it up there for ages, and like I'll just always see it, or like I'll just like do my to-do list or whatever it is, or like whatever it is.
That's
So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Have
so
you
I
heard of the
definitely-
accountability mirror?
No.
Do you know who David Goggins is?
Yes.
Have you heard his book?
No.
Okay, well, it's in his book, and it's like sort of all the things that all the things, fuck,
Stings.
all the things that he
English.
wanted to like achieve and that sort of thing, or like,
Yeah.
or he'd sort of do it the opposite.
English.
English good.
English bad fucking.
We're gonna make a reel out of this. We're gonna make a reel out of this, and we're gonna chop it up and make it look like she can't speak English.
Shut the fuck up.
Anyways,
Back to topic.
back to topic. Yeah, so like he'd sort of do the opposite, where he'd write down some of the things that he didn't like. He'd be like, "You're 300, like he was in America, it's like you're 300 pounds."
Yeah.
And like all the shit
He
things.
was
like,
fucked.
Yeah, so like he'd do the opposite of like what he is and what he doesn't want to be.
Yeah.
Or he'd do the opposite. He'd go like, "Oh, I am 80 kilos," until he gets it. And you just, like I said, you just keep seeing it every single day. It keeps you accountable. Keeps it in the front of your mind.
Yeah. It's literally just having it there. Just like what you said about your computer screen. Perfect. That's what I do with my computer screen. I've got whatever I need or I'm manifesting at the moment on there. So
You need to update them as soon as
Yeah.
you tick it
I
off.
only did this
update
one
it.
like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I'm sure you'll get to all those goals.
absolutely.
And
One
we
of-
all will.
Thank you.
One of the last questions and one of a sick one is, what's the coolest place you've been to in terms of travel and why?
It's more travel questions.
Yeah. So I haven't traveled like to everywhere yet.
Well, so far, thus far.
So far.
Obviously not Cyprus.
Or
Yet,
Greece.
not yet.
Or in Greek school.
One of the coolest places I've been to. So I love Phuket. Like I absolutely love it. But I was actually in Doha for the FIFA World Cup, and that was fucking sick.
Yeah.
That was
Arabs.
that was an
Good
amazing
people.
experience that I will never experience again in my life.
Please tell me you went to a game.
Yes, Australia versus Tunisia.
Oh, you're kidding.
And
Did
we
we won that one. Yeah, we did too. It was like 1-0, 2-0.
I don't know what it is, but we won.
Yeah.
And I was like, Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Had my flag. Woo!
Well, you're not going to hold up a Greek flag.
The Greek
No one asked you, man.
fucking idiot. So
Where's next on the list of
just to
places
answer
you
that,
want to
is
go?
it Doha's one of the Doha?
Yeah, Doha.
Okay.
Okay. Grip. Where's the places that you'd love to go? Like, what's one place you're like, I want to fucking go?
Bucket list locations.
Bucket list locations.
Bucket list.
So Japan's definitely one
You
place.
Fucking same.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Yes.
Like this year, I'm gonna go to Japan at some point. I want to taste the food there.
Is
I
it on
wanna
your vision board?
experience it. I don't have my vision board, but I've been saying it lots and I've been hearing it lots. So Japan, Philippines, I'd love to go there. Love to go back to Thailand and train again. That's about it at the moment. I just want to focus on those.
You're like the first person we've spoken to in a long time that hasn't said Dubai. There's nothing wrong with it.
I'd love to visit Dubai, but it's not on my bucket list.
Don't compare, bro.
Don't compare. No, I hear Dubai is amazing, but I've been in Doha, which is like so
Same,
close
same,
to it.
same,
It's close.
Bunch of Arabs,
Yeah.
bunch of explosions, and
Literally.
I just want to make sure we didn't. You're fucked. I just heard that. I'm just like fucking.
bunch of people praying. It's great. Very
Yeah.
holy.
It's so yeah, Doha's amazing. Doha's beautiful.
Same like Doha, Qatar, Dubai, Abu Dhabi. Same.
Yeah.
I think one of the last questions to wrap.
I think we've said last
To wrap
question about
on.
15 times.
Yeah, one of
Want to
the
say it for a 16th or
no, one of the actual last
No.
questions. What's next for Sammy?
I'm currently working on a project at the moment that I can't speak about.
Does that
because
mean business? Is
Can
that-
you say it and we'll beep it out? No, I'm joking. No.
Yes.
Laughing because on YouTube it's just going to be and we're us just talking.
Yeah, please do it. Please do it. So
All right, so that's going to be cut out.
All right, let's wrap her up. So, for those of you who aren't already following Sammy fucking P on Instagram, that's not her tag. It's just,
it's my name.
that's it. It's Samantha Pattison on Instagram, TikTok as well.
Yeah.
Hit the links in the bio. Have some fun. YouTube, all lot.
Did you want to add anything before we
You
wrap
want to
up?
give anyone a shout out? Anyone?
No, I just wanted to really thank you guys for considering me for your podcast.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you.
And we'll see you guys on the next episode. Thank you very much, Sammy, for coming on.
Thank you.
Bye bye.